Hello again, Struck Quap. Let's talk Diablo 4 recent updates. 104, 104 and its hotfix. That's what this video would be about. You might have missed it, you might have not read the patch notes, you might wanna watch this video just for the information that was there. I know I'm late to the party because I've been busy with other content. Apologies for that, but here it is, my patch notes overview for 104 and 104's hotfix. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's useful information to some of you out there. Buckle up and let's go. To kick things off, first, this is most likely going to be the last bigger update until the season patch coming on the 18th of July for the season that begins on the 20th. So don't expect much big client patches until the 18th. Now let's start with bug fixes. Regarding gameplay bug fixes, they fixed an issue where the damage multiplier for enhanced frozen orb wasn't applying correctly. I'm not gonna say fixed an issue every time, but yeah, another issue where enemies with the vortex affix would deal damage through immunity. And an issue where the elixir of expertise was reducing resource cost by 10% instead of the displayed 20% value. An issue where the damage bonus from the Paragon Subdue glyph would be applied to any target instead of only vulnerable targets. As well as one where the Barbarian's Whirlwind ability would briefly stop channeling when a cooldown skill was cast while using it, which very good thing. It was pissing me off when I was using it. Fixed an issue where the guaranteed overpower buff from the Barbarian's Earth Striker aspect would be consumed upon gaining any other buff. I think I've noticed this happening. Was wondering why. Fixed an issue where the player character would freeze when using the Rogue's Shadow Step skill if used outside the range of your intended target. Fixed an issue where the player could not rotate when casting a channel skill if using a one-hand weapon with no off-hand item equipped. Fixed an issue where the cursed scrolls in Fields of Hatred had a lower cooldown than the displayed 5-minute cooldown. Fixed an issue where aspects that deal flat damage imprinted through the Codex of Power scaled with player level instead of item power. This is kind of a nerf to having a low item power ascended items and imprinting them with stuff like Protector, that barrier from Protector. But overall, I think it's more reasonable for it to work the way it does, based on item power rather than player level. Fixed an issue where the Necromancer Shadow Mages weren't applying extra shadow damage through the Shadow Blight key passive. Fixed an issue where cheat death effects would not trigger if you died while mounted. Rare items that are guaranteed drops from specific rare enemies have had their sale price increased so that their reroll price will also be closer to other items of similar strength. These items will still generally have a lower sale value and inherently reroll cost than other rare items of similar item power. These items are also now no longer a guaranteed drop and have been adjusted to a 33% chance to drop going forward. Fixed an issue where the Elixir of Expertise tooltip was incorrectly showcasing a resource reduction of 20% instead of the intended 10%, which it has always been. Moving on to quests and dungeons. Fixed an issue where a traversal wouldn't appear during the Blind Eye quest, blocking progression. Fixed an issue where the Mother Judgment enemy would spawn before the player entered the encounter during the Whispers from the past quest. Fixed multiple issues where quest progress would be blocked if the player used the town portal during specific sequences. Fixed various other issues that prevented progression for multiple quests. An issue where the Forgotten Depths dungeon had one fewer prisoner to release than intended. An issue where teleporting to Veginani dungeon to Veginani during the Witch of the Wastes quest would force the player to drop the vial of Quicksilver despite the town being an allowed area for the quest. As well as an issue where the Cultist Refugee, Howling Warren and Wuban's rest dungeons couldn't be completed if the Butcher appeared and was not killed. Yeah, I've had that problem. Where I'd kill every single enemy and the Butcher will be the last one, and he would kill me and then he won't drop a Cultist key. And then we can't go through that door. Good thing they finally fixed that. An issue where treasure goblins slain in a nightmare dungeon with the death pool suffix would do significantly more damage than intended with its post-death explosion. As well as an issue where the Mirage quest couldn't properly be completed. UI. Fixed an issue where the QR code used for account linking on console was improperly sized, which made scanning it difficult. An issue where the imprint cost of legendary aspects would be inaccurately displayed. An issue where players on console would be unable to navigate the shop after using the buy more platinum button. An issue where the upgrade glyph tab wouldn't close after moving away from the awakened glyph stone. An issue where a skill unlocked by item contribution did not have an assign skill button on its tooltip. An issue where trading a partial stack while playing with a controller would display a full stack in the tooltip. An issue where the weekly reward cache for defeating the world boss would display as available if there was an active whisper for defeating the boss, even when the cache had already been claimed previously. So that's what was happening. I was wondering what was causing me to see reward caches available for bosses I've already defeated on my character. So, miscellaneous. Fixed an issue where the NPC Arwo couldn't be interacted with. An issue where the Fields of Hatred Killer cosmetic set was missing helms for Druid, Necro and Rogue. An issue where the cost of the sturdy saddle cosmetic from the stable vendor would scale with the player's character level. So this is fixed, no more cheap sturdy saddle cosmetics. An issue where players could lure the Searing Abomination boss in the Azuda Fields of Hatred zone to a location where they could damage it, but it couldn't damage them. Issue where mount cosmetics would not properly display if applied while actively mounted. An issue where the camera would pan from the point of death back to the respawn point instead of instantly moving for players in local co-op. An issue where the player and NPC would disappear during a dialogue sequence if the player was actively under the effect of a conduit shrine. Various localization fixes. Various other interface and accessibility improvements, further stability, performance, and visual improvements across all platforms, and fixed an issue where smokes and on-off-hand items for sorts would reset upon performing any inventory action. As for gameplay adjustments, where the good stuff is about this patch, Hell-type chests can now drop unique items. Especially good. And then the bosses Venard, Bro, and Sai Rach have had their health pools and damage output reduced. The cap for crafting materials has now been increased from 9,999 to 99,999, which is also extremely good. And now moving on to the hotfix, it's only a couple of stuff. Class changes for the Necro. Enhanced blood lens now pierces up to a maximum of 10 enemies. Aspect of Hungry Blood now fires up to a maximum of 3 blood lenses per cast. There's a developer note says this is indeed a nerf to Bloodlines, but Bloodlines has been so good for Necromancers that it has been crashing the game. This is a temporary solve while the team reworks the way the legendary aspect will function, and we expect this change sometime in Season 1 or shortly after. They're talking about, again, aspect of Hungry Blood. There's also a gameplay change that the first Whisper cache you acquire will now always grant a Nightmare Sigil, and regarding bug fixes, further stability improvements.
To get notified when I upload more content like this one or other builds and guides for Wooter and not so Wooter games, you can subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to not miss out on notifications. As well as keep in mind there's something called memberships on YouTube, which lets you be a paying member for my channel to get access to perks such as emotes and badges made by me, as well as the option to get one-on-one tutoring for the very basics of Adobe Photoshop, Premiere and After Effects. And memberships can be cancelled at any time if you no longer wanna be a member. Thanks for watching all the way until the end, Struck Web. Keep it cool until next time, and goodbye.